SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Never take your heart health for granted. For just $99, you can get a complete screening and know your risks. Call 601-249-5198 to schedule your Happy Healthy Heart screening at Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center.
Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Clark.
None of this meeting is recorded. None, by any party. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning on a Tuesday. How you doing? Absolutely beautiful day outside. Aside from the 20% chance of rain, it'll stay that way with a high of 92 today, tomorrow, 93 on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, back to 92 on Sunday. So what you see out there right now is basically what you're going to get for the entire week. Gotta love it. Yes, I know it's hot. It's July the 7th. Is the least surprising fact about today. We have a lot to get to today. Holy cow, has it been busy. With events eventuating. But I think we have to start with a couple of different things, a couple of folks that we lost. Of course, Nolan Wells, the Southwest Community College football player down on Horn Island. It has been pretty much confirmed by his family, is what I've been told, that the body they recovered on Horn Island was Nolan Wells. This is a horrible, tragic story in so many ways. He was a bright kid. Everyone that I've talked to that knew him or had been around him, he was an all-star. And I'm not even talking about football, just in general, he was an all-star. Bright kid, friendly, just had it all lined up, was doing great. And then whatever happened, happened. Now, of course, we have had our factions on Facebook, which has quickly become the bane of sanity on planet Earth, who have already floated out and they know for a fact what happened. No, you don't. Nobody knows. We'll find out. But we should be concentrating on the fact that a family and school families, including here at Southwest, and friend groups all lost what was basically one hell of a young man. And he's gone. That should be the primary focus, not rushing, trying to, stake it down that you know what happened. Nobody knows. Will we know? Yes. What we do know for now is that there's a lot of people that deserve some support, and that's not supportive. those kinds of attitudes, those kinds of behavior are self-serving. They're not supporting anyone. Calm down and let's support his family. We now live in a time where I had to say that. And that's depressing. Because this is a depressing story. This is a sad story. And we hate to see it. Students checking back in, getting ready for school. Nolan would have been checking in over the weekend. And obviously he won't be now. And that's a shame. That is horrible news. My heart goes out to the family and to everyone that knew him, because everything I've seen, everyone that knew him loved him. He was a great guy. He was a great kid. I'm old enough now I can call an 18-year-old a kid and not feel too self-conscious, even though deep inside my mind, I'm still about 19 or 20. I'm not, by the way. My knees will explain that to you when I get out of bed in the mornings. But Nolan will definitely be missed. Horrible tragedy. Also, someone who will be missed is Pike County Supervisor Sam Hall. Sam Hall passed away. They're going through the steps. We're going to get a replacement supervisor that will be elected in a special election, I believe. Sam, like him, don't like him. Agree with him, don't agree with him. He was impactful. 100% impactful. You knew he was there. He had been doing it. He had been involved in public life for a long, long time. So he will be missed as well. It was interesting to have two high-profile deaths in Pike County over one weekend for two completely different reasons, two completely different situations, and the difference in reaction between the two. The reaction to both should have been support the family, talk about what a great person they were, what they had accomplished, and have a little compassion. That's what we need more of. Well, there's a lot of things we need more of. Oh, that's a list. But those two would be a great start. Is it going to happen? Well, right now we just keep sliding further in the wrong direction. And we have got to get that under control. Now, what happened with Nolan? I have seen every kind of speculation under the sun, and that's all it is speculation. But we have now reached the point to where speculation is the same thing as an ironclad researched fact to a lot of people. That has to stop. We're forgetting that all the people around us are human beings. That has to stop. It would be nice if it did stop. Don't hold your breath. For now, we've got some lovely flower arrangements on the door here up at Southwest. Remember the good stuff and celebrate the life of a young man who is gone far too early. And celebrate the life, again, whether you agreed with him or not, celebrate the life of Pike County Supervisor Sam Hall. We have to start focusing on the good. It can't be all bad 24/7, 365. That poisons your mind. That withers your soul and gets you to the point to where you are providing absolutely nothing of substance to anyone's life. And that's an enormous tragedy in and of itself. So let's remember Nolan. Let's remember Sam. As I said with Nolan, we'll find out. We'll know eventually what happened. But until we do, all we know for sure is a bright, talented young man is no longer with us in Pike County. And that's always a horrible piece of news. Always. When we come back, wanted to deal with the most important things first here in this first segment. When we come back, the second most important thing, the controversy from the last administration in McComb isn't over yet. We'll talk about that if you haven't heard about it. We'll talk about that when we come back on Super Talk Mississippi Pike County. Keep it here.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on.
See it all around you. Good love and gone bad. And usually it's too late when you realize what you had. And my mind goes back to a girl I met long years ago. Just hold on loosely, but don't let go.
Welcome back.
If you cling too tightly,
It's a live version of 38 Special from back in the day where just some guys and their instruments could walk out on the stage and sound exactly like the album. No backing tracks, no anything. The cheering at the front, I'm going to assume, was because we have a brand new Board of Mayor and Selectmen for the city of McComb. The content of the song is for the now former city clerk. If you didn't hear about this, Akeisha Royal, who just came on not terribly long ago and took over the, well, let's just be honest, much maligned city clerk position. She was what, the sixth, seventh one in the last few years, and was doing a bang up job. She was presenting the reports. She was presenting things in a easy to understand manner. She uncovered all sorts of things. We talked about that. We actually played the audio when she came and presented it to the board, all the various funds that were overdrawn or the wrong funds were used to pay for things, so forth. So just an accounting nightmare is what she presented. Well, last week on Thursday, and she actually posted it on Facebook, ultimate transparency, you gotta love it. She resigned. Please accept this letter as my formal resignation as City Clerk, Chief Financial Officer for the City of McComb, effective immediately. And she goes on to talk about the situation that she came into when I assumed this position. I stepped into an office under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. The previous city clerk had left abruptly. That's the way it seems to happen in the city of McComb, leaving little to no transition, guidance, or institutional knowledge. There was no meaningful handoff of ongoing projects, financial concerns, pending deadlines, or established procedures. Go on down a little bit. She talks about, she was putting improvements in place, which she was. That was obvious. She was reporting on them. I accepted that responsibility because I believed the citizens deserved accurate financial reporting, strong internal controls, and transparent financial leadership. She then goes on. Here you go. Now, keep in mind, this was on Thursday, July 2nd. Wednesday night, July 1st, the new board was sworn in. So less than 24 hours after the previous mayor and board of selectmen had finished their term and the new crew had taken over, less than 24 hours later, she resigned. I say that to say this. This is no reflection on the brand new city board that was just sworn in. They're having their first work session tonight. They haven't even met yet. That'll be next Tuesday. No reflection on them whatsoever. She goes on in her letter. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. And I say all that to say she's really had no interaction with this Board of Mayor and Selectmen as a Board of Mayor and Selectmen. Quoting Akeisha Royal's post, quote, "Unfortunately, from the beginning of my tenure, I encountered an environment that made it increasingly difficult to fulfill the responsibilities of this office. My professional judgment was repeatedly questioned, my authority was undermined, and my responsibilities were interfered with. Decisions involving the city's finances were challenged. Individuals outside of the accounting function were inserted into matters involving my work, and I found myself spending as much time defending sound accounting practices as I did implementing them. I also endured repeated intimidation." Think about the meanings of some of these words that she uses here. She is describing what it was like to perform the job of city clerk under the now previous administration, which probably goes a long way to explain why it has been a revolving door on the city clerk's office up till now. She goes on. "I also endured repeated intimidation and a continual atmosphere of uncertainty regarding my employment." In other words, if you don't do it the way I want you to, you're fired. You're gone. You're getting out of here. You can't work that way. Not at a high level, and I'm sorry, the mess that the finances are in for the city of Macomb, the mess that the records are in, takes someone performing at a high level. "It became clear," she continues, "that my position was being continually discussed, questioned, and threatened. It's difficult to effectively safeguard the financial integrity of a municipality when you're expected to perform your duties under the constant threat of losing your position for refusing to compromise your professional standards. End quote there. In very nice language, she basically just implied that she was told, don't do this the right way, do it the way I'm telling you to do it, or you're fired. Think about it. It is difficult to effectively safeguard the financial integrity of a municipality when you're expected to perform your duties under the constant threat of losing your position for refusing to compromise your professional standards. I'm paraphrasing. I'm using different words to say what she said. Basically we had a difference of opinion because I believed in doing things the correct, proper way. And somebody told me if I did it a different way, I could keep my job. Now, there's no indication in any of this of which person or persons were the ones doing the intimidation. Not a lot of people can work things around. Nobody on the bottom floor was threatening her to be fired, I don't think. Don't have that power. No employee, another sentence in her resignation letter, quote, no employee, particularly one charged with protecting the financial integrity of a municipality, should have to choose between maintaining professional ethics and maintaining employment, end quote. She goes on to say, I refuse to compromise my integrity. I refuse to abandon sound accounting principles to avoid conflict. I refuse to remain in an environment where intimidation replaces collaboration and professional disagreement is met with resistance instead of meaningful discussion. Positions are temporary. Integrity is permanent. That's Akeisha Royal, the now resigned city clerk. If we put together a haul of city clerks who are no longer with the city from the last 10 years, it would have to be a long haul if you were going to put their pictures up. One after another, and that's because things, from all indications, ask the state auditor if you don't believe me, from all indications, the last 8 to 10 years has been an enormous mess. Really, the last 8 years, the last 2 administrations. Let's just call it what it was. Sound practices and integrity don't sound like they factored into a lot. It's going to be interesting to see how this moves forward now, because the first step for the new board is going to be to advertise for the position and try to find a city clerk. Again, how long does this go before you run out of qualified people who are good at that job, who can handle it, that are willing to step into this? How far do you go? How long does that take? This is not an overly surprising development. But it speaks to the chaos in City Hall that we've all known existed for quite some time. It just does it a little more publicly than anyone else really has. So where do we go from here? Well, we're going to find out. Like I said, first work session tonight, first meeting of the new Board of Mayor and Selectmen next Tuesday. There is a new sheriff in town at the head of the table. and we will just have to see how things go. Still got high hopes. Most definitely. You got to be hopeful. You got to be positive. Are things going to work out? My wife is going to chuckle at this because I introduced her to this concept not long after we met. Are things going to work out? Probably. I explained to her that that's the way to go through life. Is this going to work out? Probably. Can I do this? Probably. Is this going to be a success? Probably. That does two things when you use that word. Number one, it anchors you on a positive outcome. That's what you're looking at. That's what you're expecting. But it doesn't nail it down to the point to where if sometimes things don't work out, you feel like a failure. And then it holds you back. And then the next time something comes up, you don't want to say, yes, it's definitely going to work quite as much as you did last time. So probably. Is that going to work? Probably. Is this going to be a better 4 years? Probably. Are we going to make some progress and get some things straightened out? Probably. Everyone certainly hopes so, right? They hope that in Jackson. So, year and a half, 2 years ago, Jackson Mayor Chokwe Lumumba was federally indicted on bribery charges and wire fraud and money laundering and everything else. Federal indictment. The FBI did the investigation. And at the time, he put out a video and stomped his little foot and explained that I have taken no bribes. I have never taken a bribe. I don't know what they're talking about. Everything has been on the up and up. And then yesterday, he walked into federal court and pled guilty to taking bribes. Year and a half, 2 years later. There is always a difference between what an elected official says when they're accused of something and then what you actually find out when things shake out. That was a clinic put on by former Mayor Lumumba in that exact category. It did bring a little bit of a hopeful smile to my face because, as we have talked about many times, McComb holds a lot of similarities with Jackson to the point to where not the board that just went out, but the one before that wanted to be Jackson. They wanted McComb to be Jackson. I tell the anecdote all the time. I got to go find the audio so you can hear it for yourself. It's 6, 7 years old. I've got it. I've got everything. Where several times they would introduce a piece of legislation in a board meeting that they wanted to approve for the city of McComb and talk about what a great thing it was and how it was going to be awesome. And they would say, now there are a few edits we'll have to make in this. For example, where it says City of Jackson, we'll have to change it to say City of McComb. They were transparent in wanting McComb to be Jackson, to run like Jackson, to be operated and stewarded just like Jackson was. So it's not a baseless claim. There are similarities. By design, there are similarities. And look how that's going. But just remember, the ones who protest and throw out their fake outrage at being accused of doing something dirty, a lot of times are the ones that come along later and go, well, as it turns out, I did do that. Sorry. Yeah, it's a horrible thing. He's looking at up to 5 years in jail. I don't expect him to get any. You had a city councilman that did it as well. All three of them are eligible for up to 5 years in jail. This is how things ultimately turn out. Not always. You and I both know that. Not always. But sometimes the chickens come home to roost, and it doesn't matter how large of a squawk you have. The rooster of justice still runs the yard. This metaphor is getting really weird, isn't it? Yeah, sorry about that. So we'll see how that shakes out. We'll see what else is to come with a new board in place who might not be as inclined to run cover and try to hide the things that have been done over the last 8 years. Just saying. Talking about the guilty, not guilty thing, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the story about Graham Plattner up in Maine. They had this laundry list of things that were wrong with this guy. He had an actual Nazi tattoo. Went and got it covered up, said he didn't know what it meant. Had sexual assault allegations from conservative women. That was fine. He's changed. He's learning to better himself. It went on and on and on and on the list, but now a liberal woman has stepped forward and accused him of sexually assaulting her. She said she almost didn't come forward because she didn't want to hurt his chances, but just couldn't stay quiet any longer. And now they're thinking about replacing him. Now they want to get rid of him and plug somebody else in, just like they did with Kamala. It's going to work about as well as it did with Kamala, who is apparently leading the polling for Democratic presidential hopes for this coming term. I hope so, please. Please, Santa, I have tried to be so good this year. I have put forth effort. Please, just leave a Harris for President 2028 bumper sticker in my stocking this year. That would be the greatest gift I could get. Thank you. I'll double your milk and cookies. I'm not above a bribe, which of course qualifies me to be mayor of Jackson. The hypocrisy is almost impressive. In a way, if you look at it the right way, it's almost impressive. When you did something, you know you did something. You know they've got you on recordings doing something. When the federal government has conducted a sting operation and you fell for it, you know all of this, and then to calmly look into a camera and go, I didn't do that. It's not the only place it's happened. We do know that, as I said earlier, the financial records in the city of McComb are a mess. I think the resignation letter from the city clerk cast a little light on what's been going on. Intimidation, as she said multiple times in the letter, she refused to not follow proper accounting standards, even though she was told if she didn't refuse to follow proper accounting standards, she would be fired. Kind of tells you where we've been, doesn't it? If there is no fire, we've got to figure out where all the smoke is coming from, because you practically can't see. The smoke is so thick. But, and ask former Mayor Chokwe Lumumba about this, will the truth come to light sooner or later? Probably. Probably is a very powerful word.
Lido missed the boat that day. He left the shack.
If you use it properly in your day-to-day life, inside your own head, looking into the mirror, you start using it, and it can make a big difference in your life. Will it? Probably. We'll continue on this Tuesday morning right after this. Keep it here.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, but just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Once again, we return on SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. Dave Hughes here. We had some good stuff over the weekend. Want to make sure we recognize it. Nice turnout for the Southwest Health System's 250th anniversary event. Had a lot of fun. Had the t-shirt cannon. Charlotte was just overjoyed with that. A lot of people came out, got free food, got a good time. I love seeing those kind of events. As I talked to them from Southwest Health Systems, we had them on the show 2 or 3 times leading up to it. I love seeing things like that because it speaks to several things I've talked about. Number one, it was a nice positive event that nobody could get bent out of shape over. That doesn't mean nobody would, but I didn't really see any pushback against it. But it was also something a little different. a different kind of event in a different location, put on by a different organization. We need more of that. We have for a long time basically done most of our events because of the same 2 or 3 organizations and the same 2 or 3 people. The all-star gold medal winner of that is my friend Vicki Webb, who has worked her fingers to the bone her entire life to put events in place and to get things going in the city of McComb. She deserves eternal thanks for that, because I was involved behind the scenes with a couple of things over the years, and you don't understand the amount of work that goes into putting something on. We need some new blood, is what I'm saying. We need some new people to come in and, come up with good ideas. We also need good ideas from established organizations. Brandon Andrews over at the McComb Main Street Association, had him in last week. We were talking about Live at 5. It's a cool idea. It was a neat idea, and it's gone pretty well, I think. Of course, had Brandy there yesterday. Brandy and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of her closest friends were there to see her get the key to the city, be recognized. She and her mom donated $100,000 worth of musical instruments to Higgins. That's great. That's a feel-good story all the way around. Local girl done good comes back and does more good. That's a fantastic story. That is a great thing. And it's gotten national attention because it's Brandy. So I've seen it on multiple news outlets around the country, not just here. That was a bigger story than you might realize, and I'm glad to see we had a good turnout for it, because it makes McComb look good. But again, thinking outside the box. Live at 5 didn't exist until pretty recently. Now, it's kind of the same thing, but it's designed to build up some traffic and get some interest going in Main Street in downtown McComb. Again, a worthy goal. But you have to bring some new things to the table to make that happen. So 2 events, both of them big, and both of them not the same old, same old. We fall into that trap, I feel like, on a very regular basis. Just the same old, same old. Same things done the same way. No innovation. Now, there is something to be said for if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's usually how you can mess something up. I understand that, and I agree with that. But at the same time, if your car is not broke, don't fix it. You can still put some rims on it. Get a new paint job. Heck, take it through the car wash. Get one of those tree air fresheners and hang it from the rearview mirror. New floor mats. You can spruce up what you've already got. You've still got what you already had this whole time, but you can spruce it up a little bit. Change things up a bit. That's how you get people's attention and keep people's attention and get them excited, invested, and interested. Both of these events were great examples of that. Southwest Health Systems did a fantastic job putting that on for the community. Many eternal thanks to them for what they did. And Live at 5 in general. But yesterday with Brandy, big deal. Bigger than you may realize. So thanks go out to them as well. Fantastic thing. We need more of it. It's very easy to get stuck in a rut. Especially when, I really hate to put this like this, but I think it's the most accurate way to put it. Especially when so many seem to have lost hope. Well, why bother? Things are going to stink no matter what I do. That's the attitude of a lot of people. You know I'm telling the truth. Maybe talking about you. I don't know. But back to my favorite word. If we get a little creative, if we open ourselves to some new ideas, can we make a change in how McComb is perceived, what living in McComb is like, and the success of the city moving forward? Say it with me. Probably. Unless all we want to do is sit around and gripe about it, in which case, nope. Not going to happen. We've got people, we've got organizations that are doing what they can to make things a little better. What we have to do when organizations and people come along like that, we have to support them. We have to be open to it. And we don't have to have an initial reaction of, who cares? My garbage can's green. I don't like nothing. No. By the way, how stunned are some people going to be that are going around trying to steal the new garbage cans when they find out that there is a tracker embedded in the plastic and they can find it wherever you take it? That's going to be fun to watch unfold, because there have been reports of those already being stolen. What are you stealing it for? What possible use are you going to put that to? I think sometimes some people steal things just so they can steal things and say they've stolen something. Now, do we have problems? Of course. I am the least Pollyanna person you'll ever meet. You know that by now. There are problems. Mo's talking about the city clerk. Said the first move of this board should be to get her back, guarantee her she will not be interfered with, and that you want her to find all the problems. Not a bad take on that, Mose. Not a bad take at all. I'm just not sure it's going to be possible, because when you reach that level of fed up, you're not just done, you're done. As they say in the state legislature, a bill might be dead, but it's not over until it's dead. Well, she may be done. But it's worth the conversation, yes. I think definitely it'd be worth the conversation. Do we have problems? Yes. Is crime a problem? Yep. Here and everywhere else on the planet. Do the finances look like they've been done basically by a 6-year-old for the last 8 years? Yep. We got proof after proof of that. I refer you again to a letter from the state auditor's office. This is not my opinion. State auditor doesn't send letters because, well, Shad's bored today. He's going to have something typed out. No. Is there more to come? Well, you know my opinion on that too. So just sit back and wait and see. But step one is to do whatever can be done. I will say this, watch carefully. Over the next 12 months, this first year of this administration. Watch carefully. And if all of a sudden we start catching up and fixing all of the problems and finding all of the problems from the last 8 years, makes you wonder what the roadblock was for the last 8 years, doesn't it? If all of a sudden we start finding things out, You'll just have to wonder. And we'll get into supposition later. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this goes moving forward. Again, high hopes. Are things ultimately going to work out? Probably. Unfortunately, none of us are in charge of the timeline. What I'm saying in much more expansive language is, buckle up, Buttercup.
If you cry out for more,
Things could be about to get very, very interesting.
just to keep you here with me.
Final break, and then we'll get out of here on this Tuesday morning right after this on Super Talk Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. Keep it here.
Let me take a step towards you. Let me feel you in my hands. Let me cross this line and show you where it leads.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't escape in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on. We have once again run out of time on a Tuesday morning.
Closing time.
I want to leave you with one thing my research department turned up for me. Thanks, honey. You may or may not know this. This just came out, the listing. The old library building in downtown McComb is for sale. If you've been around McComb any amount of time, you know, right next to the overhead bridge. Beautiful building. $259,500, the asking price for the old library building. A lot of history in that building. A lot of, and it's a great building. You know, it was a fallout shelter. The basement was a fallout shelter in the old library building. You may remember the signs used to be up. You know, back when we were told every 5 minutes we were going to be nuked at any moment. I'm referring, of course, to the 80s and the 60s and the 50s. Well, you know what I mean. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. And you're probably going to have a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow morning at 9:06, my friend. See you then.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.